Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am joining in with Ginger and her murder mystery clue layout game, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So we have to roll the dice to work out some components and then the elements that we can use. So my first roll is a number 5, then a 6 and a 6, and when I go to the first chart, it allows me to find out who I have as my suspect, like in the game clue, and I've got Miss Peacock. Then the next one is what is the murder implement, and I've got the candlestick. And then my next roll is where does it take place, and it is happening in the hall. So from there, we then roll the dice again 3 times, and I've got a 4 and a 5 and a 5, and then I check out the next sheet of clues, and that means for Miss Peacock, number 4 is some blue ribbon, some string, or some twine. So I've got to find some blue ribbon, string, or twine to include on my layout. Now, we are using clues that Ginger has provided for us, and if you go to her Facebook group, you will be able to see the clues in full, and you'll be able to participate in this great event all month of August. For the candlestick, the thing that I have to scrap is number 5, which is my favourite item. Now, that's going to be a bit tricky. A favourite item page. I'm not too sure what I would include in that. I've got lots of favourite items, so I'm going to have to really think about that as to what I'm going to do. And, what is a favourite item? I'm not sure. Is it a scrapbooking item? I'm not really sure what I'm going to go there, but I'll think about that. All right, and then for the place of it happening, number 5 comes up with use black and white photos. Oh dear, that is going to be a drama. Black and white photos. I don't actually develop very many black and white photos, so maybe that's going to be a special delivery for this page. So I'll be back in a moment, and I will get started with what I have to create. So I did end up going and printing some black and white photos, and I have chosen some favourite things. Well, 2 favourite things really. Number 1 is Christmas, and number 2 is every year off my daughter I get a snow globe. So they're my favourites. I have them on display all year because I just love looking at them all year. They make me happy. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating my base for my layout. And I will apologise in advance. There is a glitch in the filming here. I thought I had pressed record at the very end when I was finishing off, but I didn't, and I do apologise, but I do walk you through what I have done. So I have cut on my Cricut here these snowflakes because of the snow globe, and I'm going to use them as a ledge or a landing point for my photos. I'm also going to cut off another strip here that is 3/4 in width, and I'm going to turn it into a pointed end banner, which I will, like a pennant, and I'm going to have that in underneath at the photo. So here you can see 3 of my snow globes that I've been given over the past few years. I have one that's a tractor, I have one that's a train, and then I have a traditional snow globe. I have a whole lot of snow globes, all different ones, and they're just 3 of the ones that I have, and I like them because these ones are my musical ones. So as I said, I have them on display all year because I think they're too pretty to put away, and they just sit on my cabinet tops. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and bring a little bit more of that rusty reddy brown in the back, in the stripe of this paper, to the front. And so I'm just going to ink the edges of my squares that I'm adding to my layout, just for some interest on the page. No, for not any particular reason other than it's a landing point for my photos. I just want more to the page than just the flat background. And I also wanted to incorporate those snowflakes because they are like the snowflakes inside the snow globes. and that's why it's important. Now, as I said, we're playing along with Ginger's game for the month of August, where we have clues, like the game from Clue, and we have to roll our dice. So for the all of the layouts, which I will be including, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all up, there'll be 8 of them. We had to roll the dice each time to get our set of criteria that we are to scrap with, and everybody will get different criteria based on the roll of the dice. So I strongly suggest you go and check out the playlist, which I have linked down below, because this is going to be fun, seeing what everybody comes up with based on what they roll. What a great idea. It's a little bit of interest, a little bit of fun, a great way to get some scrapping done, and also challenging you. Like I said, I don't often print black and white photos, so I had to print black and white photos for this, which was good because I actually like how they turned out in the black and white. So I'm just laying down the base here because that's going to allow me to start building the rest of the layout that I want to create. And so I've got my favourite thing, which is the candlestick item, which is my favourite item page. I've got black and white photos, which is where the murder took place. And now I've got to also include some blue ribbon, string or twine to meet Miss Peacock's demands. So I'm going to include that very soon, and you're going to see how I do that a bit differently. I had an idea in my head. I can't say that I'm totally thrilled with the outcome at the end, but I do like it, and it does meet the criteria. This is, as I said, a favourite item page, which is, like I said, something out of my comfort zone. I've also cut on my Cricut these snowflakes extra and that snow globe, which I want to include on the layout. But before that, I want to, creatively include my blue string or twine. And so what I've done here is I have drawn in some snowflakes, which I'm going to stitch with my blue thread. Now, I can't guarantee how beautiful they're going to turn out because, seriously, I'm not a great sewer. I'm just trying to be a little bit creative, and I've always wanted to sew on top of a photo. So given that these are inanimate objects, I think these are perfect to have a go at stitching over the top. So I have put all my holes in this first one, and there's my blue thread, which I'm going to include on my layout, and I'm going to do a chain stitch. Now I need to make these holes a little bit bigger through there to make the needle go through easier. So I'm just going to do a chain stitch all the way through my snowflake. Well, hopefully it will look like a snowflake when it's completed, and I won't make you watch me stitch them all because that would be exceedingly laborious, and it is a big massive task. And so I'm just putting in a chain stitch there, and so where I had drawn that line in, you can now see that it is being covered by the thread and is no longer visible, which is a bonus but needed to create the chain. Now I'm going to come back down and continue on with that chain, and I am showing you because some people, I don't know, maybe might be interested in how the stitching comes together or have not seen it being stitched before on a layout. So I just thought for this very first one I would include a bit of the sewing just to show how I actually have done this on this layout. Now I am going backwards and forwards and filling in each of the arms of my snowflake, and when I have it completed I realised that it's actually a little bit I just need a little bit more, so I do add the little arms on the snowflakes as well, and you'll see that in the final close-ups how that all comes together. So I just am going to continue on sewing off screen and complete that. Now you'd seen how I'd mapped out where those snowflakes and the snow globe was going to end up in the end, and this is where I had my little bit of a glitch with my camera. I thought I had pressed record, but I obviously had not. So unfortunately you did not get to see me put in all the little bits of glitter as well. I have white snowflakes added there as well. They are like a felt that I have, and I've added those to the clusters, and I also added in some sequins into each of those little clusters and around my sewn snowflakes just to add a little bit of sparkle for that Christmas magic. So I'm going to show you some close-ups so that you can see what I did. If you look up here, there's the white snowflakes. I also added in some white Nuvo and those little blue glitter points. I put in a white snowflake into the center of each of those snowflakes that you can see along there. I've got more Nuvo drops added in. I added in some string behind the blue snowflakes there, so that I've got more of that blue thread on that page, and you can see those stitched snowflakes in on the actual layout. So I did add a little bit off screen, and I am so sorry that that didn't record, but it was just gluing down bits and pieces. You saw how I had intended to place the snow globe and the blue snowflakes, and this is how it's turned out as a close-up. There's the stitching of that snowflake, and you can see, just like snowflakes, each of them are individuals and unique, and that's adding to, I think, the authenticity of a snowflake. So that's my layout for this first game. So Miss Peacock with her blue string and ribbon has been met, the candlestick with my favourite item page, and the haul using black and white photos, all done. There is a playlist link below. Go check out everybody. I cannot wait to see what everyone else has done. I hope I'm inspiring you to go and have a go. Ginger's details and her hop will be down below. Go check it out. Happy scrapping till next time, and here's my next video for you. See you there real soon.